Claude Bowers here with you for this special presentation to talk to a man who has experienced something that no one I've ever met in person has experienced. The experience of being raised from the dead by the power of Almighty God, the resurrection power of God. We'll get into that in just a moment. He's here with me in the studio, and this is a video that you've seen referred to probably on Christian television before. It has his picture on the front. It's labeled Raised from the Dead, a 21st Century Miracle Resurrection Story. And then on the back you will see it's more information about it. Raised from the Dead. It has a doctor's report, I believe, a death certificate, the details of it highlighted in a meeting where Dr. Reinhard Bunke, the evangelist, was there conducting a meeting, and God performed a great miracle. But outside of that, this great man and his ministry, his family, his testimony, and it's all available today on the program. Welcome to Orlando and welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Please introduce yourself to our viewers in giving your name and the city where you live in Nigeria.
Yeah. Well, I'm Pastor Daniel from Nigeria. I was pastoring Power Chapel Evangelical Church before I had the accident, and in Onitsha. Before I had the accident and died 3 days in the mortuary, I was brought back to life, and the church where I was pastoring was seriously increasing. People was coming all over from Nigeria to see the man. The church was increasing, but the Lord said to me, I did not bring you back to play church. You leave the church and go. You are a gift to the whole church of Jesus in the whole world. So I'm going around the world. That's why I took a new ministry called Voice from the Dead, because I sat down to say myself, what makes God to bring me back? Is it just for playing sake? Then the Spirit of God convinced me that God did not bring me back to be Daniel anymore, but he brought me back to be a voice that will be speaking from the dead, because a lot of people are alive and they don't know that life is a journey, and any journey has an end. Every journey there must be an end. But the only two ends of every journey is hell or heaven. Because if you are alive, you are on that journey, whether you like it or not. And every day you are moving, and you will end up in hell or in heaven. Because I was there and I experienced it. So that is all about me. So I live in Lagos of Nigeria now, preaching the gospel, going from church to church, city to city, bringing this message from the dead to people.
And so the Lord brought you back for this purpose, and today, through some wonderful arrangements, so you've come to be with us here on the set. And I'd like for you to present your message. What is it that God showed you? What was the revelation? And what is your message to our viewers today?
Okay, any time I want to present this message, I always let people know that as every man on earth and every woman on earth who is alive supposed to think about death. Because if not that Jesus will come to take his people, apart from that, death is waiting for every man. Because if you look at your back, some people cannot see their father, some cannot see their mother, some cannot see their good friends and their husband. And where did they go? They have died. Okay, now this death of a thing is going to face everyone if Jesus did not come. And everyone can pass through death. I am alive now, but I passed through death, and what I saw and what I experienced is what I am passing to the living ones, so that they will make sure that they prepare their way, because if you get there without being prepared, you will be disappointed. And if you say you will not get there, you must get there. It's not optional. Everyone must get there. So every wise man will always listen to this kind of message, because you know you are going there. So the earlier you know what is happening there, the better. So the message goes this way. On 30th of November, I died on a car accident 2001. And before I died on this car accident, I went for a crusade on Monday. And before I went for that crusade, my second son was sick, and by name Daniel too. So my wife said I should escort her to the hospital with the boy. And I went to the hospital with my wife and the boy. Then when we got there, the doctor said that we were late, that before the treatment will commence, that a pint of blood must be given to the boy. Then I gave 1 pint of blood. I pulled my jacket, and they took 1 pint of blood from me. Then I said to my wife, now let me be on my way to the crusade. You take care of the boy. I paid the hospital bill, and I told my wife that some church member will come and pick her. Then I left for the crusade. And the crusade lasted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I came back to my house on Thursday. Why this little story is very important is what leads to my death, is what brings everything about me, and it's happening to many people, and many people are dying on such case, but they have not come back to tell us. We bury them as Christians, we bury them as pastors, and we believe they are in heaven, but they couldn't come out to let us know if they were in heaven or not. So, as a pastor, I was condemned to go to hell, but by the mercy of God, the Lord brought me back, saying to me, I am sending you back to warn this generation, for the request of the rich man is granted to this generation as a last warning. This was what the angel told me at the gate of hell before I was sent back. But this story is bringing us to that particular judgment now. Then my wife, when I came back, I was expecting a wonderful welcome from her, but from her face, she was not happy. Then I said to her, baby, what is wrong with you? Is our son okay? And she said, yes, our son is okay. What kind of man of God are you that you will leave your wife and your son in the hospital for 3 days? You didn't care. Then I was angry with the way she put it, the way she rose her voice, the way she talked to me. Then immediately in my own heart, I calculated my own right. I said, I gave my blood in the hospital, and I paid the hospital bill, and I took you to the hospital. And I left you just to go and do the work of God. What else do you expect me to do that I did not do? Immediately I responded this way to my wife. She slapped me. And in Nigeria or in Africa, it's so strange for a woman to slap a man. When she slapped me, it was hard on me. I get away from her, ran to my bedroom upstairs, locked my door. This was happening in the night of Thursday. Then at the midnight of that Thursday, I didn't eat my night food. I was angry. And I didn't read my Bible. I didn't pray. I didn't even thank God for all the things that God did in the program. I was only angry throughout that night, thinking of how to discipline my wife and how to make my wife know that I'm not happy of what she have done. Then as I was thinking of that day, at the midnight of that Thursday, my wife came to my door knocking, asking me, please, Daddy, I'm sorry. It's the devil. It's the devil. Then I can remember what I told her. As a pastor and as a Christian, I say all these things so that every pastor and every child of God should learn lesson, because you don't know what the next minute will be in your life. And he that thinketh he stands should be careful. The only time you must be very careful is that time you are standing. Okay? Now, so when my wife knocked on my door and begged me, I can remember what I told her. She said, please, it's the devil. And I said to her, you say it's the devil? Because since she was begging, I didn't talk, but immediately she says the devil. I was highly provoked them all. And I said, you say it's the devil? Okay. If it's the devil have finished with you, but I have not finished with you. That was the only response to her. That Thursday night, I didn't open the door. Then Friday morning, I got myself dressed inside the room. Coming out of the door, she was already on the door knocking, and immediately I opened the door. She said, please, Daddy, your breakfast is ready. And I left her. I didn't eat the breakfast. And I walked away, get inside the car. I didn't accept her good morning. I just walked away and drove off.
So, at that moment, you and your wife had a major disagreement.
Yeah.
There was a disconnection between you.
Yeah.
You were angry.
Exactly.
Toward her.
Yeah.
And she was trying to recover from something she had done that she was sorry.
Exactly.
But you left that home with anger in your heart toward her.
Yeah. And I left the home.
Yes, please.
I had left the home with anger, and why I left the home with anger was not that I don't want to forgive her. No. To me, I was considering that if I'm too fast to forgive her now, it will make her to repeat such a thing again, and it will make her think that it's common and easy. So in my heart now, I'm just designing to see what I can do to delay the forgiveness and everything so that it will be hard next time she won't try it. But I didn't know that I don't have enough time.
Time was running out for you.
Time was running out for me. I didn't know that. But because if I had known, right from that night, even right from the moment she slapped me, I would say, thank you, ma. I will accept slapping me with every happiness. And that's what Jesus expects from us, because we don't know when the time is. Mm-hmm. So we're supposed to appreciate and receive everything with thanksgiving, because that is the will of God for you, whatever it is.
Let me just say that we're not going to spend a lot of time on this program doing what this videotape so beautifully does. This gives a complete story of all the details and the witnesses of what happened to him, when he left and got in the accident, when he was taken. By the way, the good news is that his wife, later on, when he was already dead, believed that God could bring him back to life. So through her faith and her actions, God brought you back with this message.
Sure.
And all of that is available on this video. It's entitled Raised from the Dead, a 21st Century Miracle Resurrection Story. And it gives all the information here on the back. And the tape provides a beautiful documentation. And also all the words in here are subtitled in English. It's in English, but also is subtitled in English so that you can understand every step of this miracle of something to which I have never seen before, to meet someone who has come back from the dead. But he came back with a message. So we're going to focus on that message. And if you want to get the details of what happened when he went to paradise, when he went to the gates of hell, the difference between hell and the lake of fire, the difference between paradise and heaven, it's all on this tape. The doctor, the guy at the morgue, the whole thing, the ambulance driver, the pastor, a doctor who pronounced him dead, and all the details are on the tape, and the announcer will tell you how to get it from time to time. So if you'd like to get the tape, it's available. Now please continue there. So you got in your car and you left home with bitterness.
Yeah, so on my way coming back to the house, my brake failed, and I tried to control the Mercedes 230, I couldn't, and in Nigeria, it's not a law that you must put your belt while driving. So it's just open, and some cars, the belt is not working. So I didn't put my belt, so while I was struggling with the steering and trying to control the car, then the car fell into one valley and hit the pillar there, and I hit my chest on the steering, and I was vomiting blood, and blood was coming out of my nose, and some good Samaritans around rushed me to the nearby hospital. It's a Catholic hospital known as a Boromir Hospital, and the doctors there was trying to help and trying their best, but the pains was so much on me, and I couldn't, the space of breathe was like blocked. So for me to breathe in was so hard, and the pains was so much. And that's something I want to say at this junction. While I was in the hospital, I felt that I was going to die. But before I felt that, I had a voice, like the human voice, and very bold. The voice said to me, Daniel, why not die? If you die, the whole pains will be over. And at this junction, I said to people that death has a voice, and death does not take anyone without agreement. So, but what happened to some people is when the accident happened, or when sickness, or when anything happened to the flesh, and when the flesh feels so weak and tormented, then the person will accept death. Then death will just come. Because death didn't just come take me. I had that voice first time, second time, then the third time I was already in a heavy pain. Then I was happy that that voice came the third time. I received it and said, yes, I would die. I would die if the whole pains, everything will be over for death. I'm happy for it. Then immediately accepted to die. Suddenly I just received a strength, and with that little strength, I prayed. I said, God, forgive me my sin. Cleanse me with the blood of Jesus. I'm coming home. And while I was saying that, my wife met me in the hospital, because the information got to her. She was 4 months pregnant. She fainted on the way while coming. People helped her. When they brought her, she saw my condition. She was crying. And she decided to remove me from that hospital. And when she told the doctor said, on your own risk, she said, okay. Then she signed the documents and took me out of that hospital. Then rushing to a better hospital. Now, while we were in the ambulance, I died in the ambulance. And look at how I died. This is very, very important for every child of God. Listen to me, when you are going to die, you don't need to be afraid as a Christian. As a Christian, look at what happened to me. While I was in the ambulance, full of blood, and my wife was shaking me, because those little strength I received was disappearing from me when I accepted to die. The whole strength was disappearing. Then with the little one I had now, I was in the ambulance with it, and my wife was rushing to the hospital. Under this mode, the 2 angels entered the ambulance. And before these 2 angels entered the ambulance, I said to my wife, please, I don't think I will make it. She said, you will make it in the name of God. She rebuked me. She said, why are you speaking negative? I said, please. She never allowed me to talk. She was shaking me. You will not die in the name of Jesus. I reject you, spirit of death. My wife was busy shaking me in the ambulance, and these 2 angels dangled inside the ambulance, and I was afraid when I saw them, because they look so fearful,